Welcome to episode 17 of Overtime with Jared P. and Johnny O. Very interesting things going on in the NFL, college football playoffs kick off for the first time as far as the 12-team format. And we might get into some Bronny James at the end. We'll see. Johnny O, what you got for us?
All right, I'll start off our Power Five. At number five, your son's Kansas City Chiefs come in at number five. I know it's hard to put a 13-1 team at number five, but I got them at number five. Because I'm kind of looking ahead now. The next couple games, Patrick Mahomes with that high ankle sprain. Carson Wentz is going to be behind center. That's going to be kind of interesting if that all happens. I wouldn't be surprised if Mahomes plays. But they have Houston, Pittsburgh, and Denver coming up.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, but they're at number five. Anything can happen. I mean, I could see them possibly losing at least one, maybe two out of the three games. But, they are Kansas City. They'll probably go 3-0, and we'll
Right.
laugh at it.
Right.
My number four team, the Minnesota Vikings. They're 12-2. They keep winning, Jared. They keep winning, man. You got a Sam Darnold at quarterback playing very well. Aaron Jones, he's got about 1,000 yards in the backfield. And, of course, Justin Jefferson. The team's real. I'm a believer. Their next three games, Seattle, Green Bay, and Detroit. Green Bay and Detroit, those divisional games, that division could turn upside down. So Minnesota has a great opportunity of taking over my number three team coming in, the Detroit Lions. Man, they're battling some. I actually feel bad for them. They're battling some serious injuries right now. They lost Montgomery for the rest of the year. They're running back.
Right.
And then, amongst all others. But my man, my good buddy Tom Bloomer, who was a avid listener, I had to drop your Detroit Lions down to number three. But here's kind of a neat little stat. You know how I like these little stats, these little things going on. They have won a game. Detroit has won a game when Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions. And they have also won this past week when he threw 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's kind of a weird thing, but they won both games. So, lost. No, I'm sorry.
They lost.
They lost. I'm sorry. I screwed that up. They won with him throwing 5 interceptions, and they lost with him throwing 5 TDs. That is crazy.
That's a crazy stat.
And they lost to the Buffalo Bills. And I'm very anxious to see your Power Five, because if you don't have the Bills in it, we might have to reevaluate this podcast. But anyway, but they're my number 2 team. They got the Patriots this week, and what do you say about Buffalo and Detroit? This game passed on Sunday. They combined for 1,100 yards and 90 points, and that's the kind of football I do enjoy to watch, okay?
Yeah.
But those two teams need to get some defense if they want to win a Super Bowl. But Buffalo looks fantastic. And Josh Allen, I don't know what you can say about him, but he's now the leader, the sole leader in our MVP talk after the Power Five. He has thrown for 5 passing touchdowns and 5 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 games. Some of the stats are unheard of. So Buffalo is my solid number 2. And without a doubt, I'm feeling good about it. The Philadelphia Eagles are number 1. Okay. Oh, back to Buffalo. They're 11-3. They have the Patriots left, the Jets, and then the Patriots again.
Yeah.
So they should finish strong. Philadelphia, their defense is winning the ball games. Okay, I know the offense is explosive and they're putting up enough points. Jalen Hurts can pass. I guess he proved that to everybody. I mean, he's only been playing for the last 4 or 5 years throwing the ball. But when you have a guy like Saquon Barkley, you don't pass as much. So he decided, how about how they can just switch, go back and forth? Well, you
I
know
know.
what? Let's pass the ball this week. So he did fantastic, 290 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and another rushing touchdown for him. He's got like 15 rushing touchdowns. Um, and I say that the passing game won the game. They rushed, they had 42 runs in the game. So they had more rushes than passes. They still played their running game. They rushed 42 times for 140 yards. That wins games along with the defense. They are a solid number one right now. They have a very tough Commanders coming up this week. Okay. And that is in DC, I believe.
Yep.
And then they got the Cowboys, who are playing a little better football, unfortunately. And then the Giants. So Philly's got, they should win all 3 games, but, some of those can sneak up. Well, the Commanders could sneak up on them, and even the Cowboys could sneak up on them. But, the Giants are just the worst franchise in sports right now. So, but Philly is my number one, and it couldn't be any more solid than Sears right now, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, but there's still a lot of football to go. So let's see what happens. Let
Did,
me
did you
hear.
did
Go
you
ahead.
say any more solid than Sears? How old are
Solid.
you?
That's a New York saying. Solid as Sears.
Like the
I have
store?
no idea. I guess they always had good products back in the day.
Yeah, solid as Sears. All right. I believe they're out of business, but that's fine. Okay. All right. I like your Power Five. My Power Five is different. At number five, I have the Detroit Lions. They're too injured. They're falling apart at the wrong time of the year. Um, you know, gave up 45 points to the Buffalo Bills. I think that's gonna be a problem. I mean, yeah, I like the stat you had where Jared Goff has thrown 5 picks and they won, and then he threw 5 touchdowns and right at 500 yards and they lost. I said I like the Lions. I want them to be ranked higher. I think they're falling apart, and they have been falling apart for the last 3 or 4 weeks as far as injuries. And you don't want to go into the postseason banged up and then not able to stop the ball. So because of the injuries on defense and now offense, I just think it's gonna be too much to overcome. Plus, like you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned, but they're in the best division of football. I mean that they might not win their division.
It could
So
happen. It
it
could
could
happen.
easily happen. At number four, I have the extremely overrated Buffalo Bills.
You
Now, the
had to
Buffalo
sneak them in,
Bills,
though.
they could end up as the number one overall seed in the AFC. They're going to win their next 3 games,
Yeah,
but you cannot. It's the same theory I have with Detroit Lions. You cannot give up 97 points or 80. Well, I'm sorry, 87 points in the last 2 weeks
yeah.
and expect to win in the playoffs. Their defense is horrendous. Their defense seemed like it was okay during the year, but the last few weeks, like 42 points they gave up against the Rams, and I guess 45 points against the Detroit Lions, somewhere around there. So over
Yeah.
80, 85, 87 points in the last 2 weeks. Granted, two great offenses, but guess what? They're going to be facing in the playoffs. Two great offenses. All it's going to take is one, and he hadn't had that so far, but one just okay game from Josh Allen in the playoffs, which we've seen in the past, and they're out. I don't trust them, not because of their offense, but because of their defense. So the Bills to me are fun, and their people are going to be all over them because they're going to finish the season at 14-3. They're going to win their next 3 games.
Yeah.
At number three, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Browns, they got up big on the Browns early. The Browns aren't always an easy out with Jameis Winston. You never know. He might throw 500 yards on you, but they handled them. Their defense looked really, really good. The Browns aren't good though, but the Chiefs, yeah, their final 3 games. I think they play 3 games in 10 days or
11
11,
days. They got
11
three
days.
games.
Yeah,
That's
that's rough.
tough.
Like you mentioned, Mahomes is banged up. That's not good. But I think they'll be ready to when the playoffs come. But as of right now, I say number three. Felt a little bit better that they didn't have a close game. If they played the Browns close in 3, 4 straight games of 3-point game or less, Well, I mean, like 12 straight games. I'm like, come on. But it looks like they had some separation. They got off to a good start. And, somebody that I think's unheralded for Kansas City, he's not the answer there, but is Kareem Hunt as a backup.
Hmm.
And when Kareem Hunt, he's a good 1-2 punch, it being the number 2 punch. And Pacheco is back. I think that's people aren't talking about that. He's such an aggressive, strong runner, and I think he gives their team toughness on offense. And their defense is solid. They have a solid defense. So Kansas City's Chiefs defense will keep them in every single game, and if they can get offense going, but they're still not there. They're not there yet. So they're at number
Was
3.
there no pun intended when you said Kareem Hunt punch something? Didn't
Yeah,
he?
his was a kick, I believe.
Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's idiotic. That got him out of Kansas City pretty quick, but you know how they forgive you when they need you. Um, at number 2, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I will admit, I've been more skeptical of them the entire year. You've been on them saying like they're for real, and I'm watching the games. They're winning, they're winning, they're winning, and that's hard to do. And I give the Chiefs a benefit of the doubt because they're winning. They only have 2 losses. It's my whole thing has been Sam Darnold, but you might have said it last week, but here it is. We're now in. They've played 14 games. Sam Darnold has played extremely well and shows how terrible of an organization the Jets and the Panthers are, or at least were at the time, because he played for both teams, and no one would have thought that he could play this well. You
Yep.
go to he goes to a competent franchise with an offensive minded coach and a good front office, and all of a sudden, he looks like he's an all pro quarterback.
Up right now, we lost Jared. Probably just for a quick second here. We are doing the Power Five. Uh-oh, now we really lost him. What do we got going here, Jared? He's trying to come back. Give us a second, folks. But we are in the middle of the Power Five, and he's going on to his number 2 team as soon as he comes back here. Typical technology here. Every once in a while, we have a little glitch. Oh, where is he here? All right, I'm going to talk about our sponsors real quick until he comes back. Imperial Marketing Solutions, Jimmy Snowberger up in New York. Anytime you need any reconditioned Dell, IBM, or HP products, he sent me a beautiful laptop that is reconditioned and it's like brand new. Please give Jimmy Snow a call at 315-345-8349. We also have Salsaritas, which is located in the Palladium in High Point and in Greensboro at the Target Shopping Center on New Garden. He's got a
Can you
food
hear me?
truck. I, yes, I can hear you. But I cannot see you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Can you
Yeah,
see me?
for some reason I can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Hold on one second. Sorry
All right.
about this.
I'm doing. Let me finish Salsaritas. You can call for all your catering needs. Again, he's got a food truck, and he's located in High Point and Greensboro. Please visit him. And that is Brian DeMore. He also has estate jewelry and loan. People are talking about gold because it's at an all-time high. If you need to sell your jewelry, diamonds, watches, or coins, my good friend Brian will give you trusted advice and personalized service. Go to him. He's paying top dollar for that kind of stuff. He's located over off of Battleground Ave, and you can find him. Go to his website at
Can you hear me?
estatejewelryloan.com. I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you at all.
Oh, you can hear me. So you're not hearing me at all.
Hold on one second. Let me see.
Pause it. Can you pause?
I don't know. Can't hear. I just can't. I can't hear you at all. Um.
Oh crap.
I don't know. I don't know if this has never happened before. I don't know why I can't hear you.
The host, the host
Yeah,
has
I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Oh, you're seeing me talk, I guess. Keep working on it. I'll finish these.
Hold on. I'll be right back. Just keep going. I'll be right back.
All right. Physical. Another special advertiser we have: Physical Therapy and Balance Center. That is physical with an F. Physical. Physical therapy and wellness specializes in innovative treatments of balance and orthopedic conditions. Our friend David Grantham over there has personalized physical therapy, fall prevention programs, and pain management. Physical with an Phyzical, emphasizes a whole body approach with advanced technology, offering a free 15-minute balance screening right now to anyone. Call David at 336 500 8503. He's over on Battleground Ave, but give him a call for that free 15-minute balance at 336 500 8503. Also, another one of our advertisers. Until Jared comes back here, we got Shank and Torrance Insurance, located in Greensboro, but they serve the entire triad and the state. Brian Torrance specializes in personal insurance, including auto, homeowners, and life insurance. Call him at 336 310 1320 for all your insurance needs. I've had I've had Torrance Insurance for probably, I don't even know, 15 or 20 years. He's an outstanding individual, a good friend, and he really takes good care of me. Call him at 336 310 1320. And I think that is all I have on my end.
There you are. I can hear you
There
now.
it is. All
Not
right.
sure what that was. All right. Sorry. Thanks for covering.
I
Um,
Okay, I got some of my I got all my advertisers in. So when we run them, just run your advertisers on your end after.
okay. No problem.
All
All
right.
right. So number two, I had the Vikings, and so I really do believe in them. I mean, is there an outside chance that Green Bay could sneak in and win that division?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
could. They could. And I actually think Green Bay right now is in the best position health wise to win that division. I really do. They have 4 losses, so they have
You're
to run the
right.
table. But they're all playing each other for the last 3 games, so we'll see. At number one, the no longer overrated Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm wearing my green today, baby.
I'm telling you, the, I think the strength of their defense or their team is their defense.
Yep.
I think the Eagles' defense. I mean, they are not letting people allow you to move the ball. Pittsburgh has been on fire offensively, and they look like a JV team on offense against
They
them.
did. They
And,
did.
and conversely, Pittsburgh is a top 5 defense, and there's nothing they can do against the Eagles running or passing the ball.
No.
So, as and like we talked about last week, and you mentioned the whatever drama there was between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts was overblown, and they said they even did the dance when they scored the touchdown.
They
Plus
sure did.
receivers, he got like 7 targets in the first half and
I know.
touchdown. So it makes
Yep.
a big difference. But they said no, we're good. So the Eagles are the team to beat, and I think Washington will play them tough, but I think the Eagles will probably win out. Uh,
Just
and
got to stay healthy. It's all about staying healthy
yeah,
now.
this time of year it really is.
Yep.
All right. Before we get to our college football playoff predictions, um, my other sponsors, 336 Realty, 336realty.com. Ryan Carney is the owner there. Really great for all your home buying needs. I've used him to buy and sell 3 or 4 of my own homes over the years. So he's really, really great. Surf Hippie Fishing, surfhippiefishing.com for all your fishing apparel, tournaments, and much, much more fishing gear like fishing rod holders and carts and all that stuff. They are really, really cool, real cool company. And did you get a Elite Chiropractic and all that thrown
No,
in there? Nope.
you need to do that one.
Okay, Elite Performance Chiropractic, owned by and operated by former NFL player Jeremy Phillips, former guest on the show. He's their chiropractor there, and they do everything they do there is state of the art. So if you're having any pain or whether you're an athlete or not, they can take care of you. So we really appreciate our sponsors that we've had from the beginning, and also our newer ones. All right, the college football playoff. This is exciting. The 12-team playoff. Last week we discussed how we thought that the committee got it right, and so the opening games, I will just go through very quickly now and give my predictions of who I think will win or lose in this first opening round. As you know, the people who got to buys, as a reminder, Oregon, Georgia, ASU, Arizona State University, and Boise State. I don't think people had that as a prediction.
No.
All right, out of the ACC, we have Penn State taking on Southern Methodist, 6-11 matchup.
Out of the
And
well, you said ACC. That's a Big Ten school, Penn State.
no, SMU, aren't they in the
Oh,
ACC?
see, oh my God, I thought you were leaning toward Penn State because I'm looking at SMU because I'm still not even realizing they're in the ACC. I'm
Yeah, you're
sorry
right.
about that.
Trust me, even when I was saying them, is that right? Yeah, SMU, since we're an ACC country, SMU, Penn State. I think SMU is underrated as a team. I think they play teams tough, but I think this is probably the easiest of the picks for me. Penn State, Big Ten, of course, Penn State. You have Notre Dame versus Indiana. I'm taking Indiana. Taking Indiana
Nice.
in a slight upset. And then their gift will be to play Georgia in the next round. But I think Indiana. I think both teams are well coached. I think people are freaking out when Notre Dame lost their first game of the year. Uh, I forget which team.
No, Northern Illinois State.
Yes, exactly. Who then went on to not even have a great season, really. Um, but ever since then, they've been on fire. But I have Indiana. I think Indiana's a really well coached team, well balanced team. Uh, the one I'm going to have I'm going to say the one I'm going to have the most trouble with for last: Texas versus Clemson. In the other matchup, 5-12 matchup. Um, I think Texas will win this game easily.
Hey,
Um,
listen to what you just said. The 5-12 matchup. See, that's what brings me back to March Madness. I mean,
yes,
remember, there's always an upset in that 5-12 slot.
right. And now, can Clemson beat Texas? Sure. I think Clemson, like I said, week 3, I said this is a team to watch, and they snuck through and won the ACC. As what it was looking like was going to be a down year after they got just obliterated by Georgia in week 1, which a lot of teams have been blown out by Georgia over the years. And then the final matchup is the 8-9 matchup, Ohio State and Tennessee. I guess it's 8-9 for a reason. To me, it's basically a toss up. I don't know. I think there might be a hangover with Ohio State with their uh, terrible performance against Michigan. I know it's a rivalry game where they only put up, 10 points, 13 points,
Yeah.
and Tennessee, Tennessee has a lot of weapons on offense. Both teams do. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I'm going to give the edge to Tennessee.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Well, my picks, I'm so excited. I mean, it does feel like March Madness, December Madness. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. All right. First game is Friday night, and that's that Indiana Notre Dame matchup. And you mentioned the Indiana coach earlier this year. You were
yes,
pretty excited about him and what he was doing. And shoot, I think at the time they were only 5 or 6-0 at the time. Well, he was just named AP Coach of the Year. So good for him. Kurt Signetti.
yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. But Indiana and Notre Dame. I know you picked Indiana. I would love to see that, but I'm picking Notre Dame, but I'm picking the game to go overtime. I think that game is going to be one heck of a game to start the playoffs, and that's Friday night. That's like an 8 o'clock game on Friday night. Then the other 3 games are Saturday. The ACC, SMU, like you said, at Penn State. Um, you picked Penn State, right?
Yeah,
Yep. I'm going to go Penn State too. I can't see an SMU, man. They've had a great year and they impressed the hell out of me all year and in that championship game, the ACC championship against Clemson, coming back like they did. But I've been I've been talking Penn State all year long, so I got to take Penn State and my man quarterback coach Danny O'Brien at Penn State. I'm all Penn State that day. So Penn State is my pick as well. Then you got Clemson and Texas, that 5-12 game. I'm taking Clemson, man.
Oh,
Clemson,
here we
that's
go.
that's going to be the upset. Dabo Sweeney's going to be running to midfield and give that other coach a high five. He's going to be so excited, and it's probably going to piss the guy off, Sarkisian, because Dabo gets so excited after he wins. But I can see it happening, and I'm picking Clemson in that game. And then I mean, Tennessee against Ohio State in the 8-9 game, two powerhouses. Um, if Ohio State loses, Ryan Day, their coach, believe it or not, will be fired probably that evening or the next day. And
Yeah.
this dude, because he has lost to Michigan like 3 or 4 straight times. This dude's got like a 62-9 record, okay? And if they lose that game, he'll be fired. I mean,
Yes, you're
it's
right.
just crazy out there. And they're at Ohio State. I think I'm going to go Ohio State. I'm going to go opposite you. I'm going to take them. I think his players are going to be ready. The Ohio State fans who are going to boo at the beginning of the game, they've already said that because their last game was against Michigan, I guess, and they lost. They're going to
Yes.
boo them and be mad at the beginning of the game until they start playing. So we'll see what happens. But I'm taking Ohio State in that game. But 4 great games. So we shall see what happens. But we got a couple different picks. But back to that Indiana Notre Dame game, that is going to be a very close game, and I'm predicting an overtime victory for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
It's so crazy that there were so many people that fought this 12-team playoff for years and years and years. And the fact that we're here now, it seems like everyone's on board and they're excited about it. If anything, people are like, can we have a 16-team playoff?
I
Can we have a
know.
20-team playoff? I'm
Yeah,
okay with that if they can figure it out and it doesn't, I think 12 is probably the sweet spot, though. Yeah, I'm excited, and we'll see. Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State are going to be there. Notre Dame and Indiana probably have a little bit of gripe. They both had great seasons, especially in Notre Dame. And again, they kind of got screwed by the committee where they win and then they go and play Georgia, which
yeah.
obviously could win the whole thing. But it's going to be interesting to see. I really think it's a toss up. I mean, I really am not leaning towards anybody as far as who I think will definitely. Every year you think, oh, 1 or 2 teams. I think 6, 7 teams could win the championship this year, and that makes it more interesting.
It does. No, it's going to be exciting. Let's see what happens.
All right, and your favorite player?
Well, let's close it out. Let's close my
Okay.
favorite, favorite player, LeBron James, and his son
Oh.
Bronny. Okay, his son Bronny. That's on the Lakers on one of those split contracts. I don't know, it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. You just were on TikTok harassing the hell out of this 19, 20-year-old kid, okay? The poor
Mhm.
kid. I mean, his dad's only worth a couple $1 billion. I mean, give the guy a little slack. Does he deserve to be on the Lakers? Probably not right now,
No, not
okay?
probably. No, definitely
But he's
not.
20 years old. And ever since your little TikTok thing that got about 25 or 30,000 freaking hits, he's had a couple of good ball games and he's playing in the G League, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's 20 years old. Okay. So they put him in there and he's building up. So this guy can be a good player in 3 or 4 years. Who knows what's going to happen? But he had a 30-point outburst, man. 30 back in on December 12th. He was 13 for 23 from the field and he had 30 points. And he's playing for the South Bay Lakers, and he's averaging 14 and a half points a game. So let's give the kid a little credit. He's got a lot of pressure on him, and he's doing okay. But here's the kicker. He has sold, or he hasn't, but the Lakers have sold over 500,000 Bronny jerseys, generating $50 million for the Lakers. And that pays for and covers LeBron's salary for this year.
Oh, wow, that's a great nugget right there. Look,
Unbelievable.
it was a business decision for the Lakers. The
Yep.
Lakers aren't playing well. The Lakers, unless they make a trade, a big move at the trade deadline, This is
Terrible.
they're going to be either not in the playoffs or an early exit from the playoffs. This team's not. I mean, they have two of the top 10 players in the league. LeBron's still a top 10 player, I think,
Yeah.
maybe 10th at this point.
Oh, Jesus, I can't take
Maybe
this.
maybe 10th. I'm being nice by saying maybe 10th.
Uh,
All right, if in your world they're two of the top five players, and to be this bad is, I think, another indictment on the legacy of LeBron James. Anyway, uh, and but the longevity, all that stuff. I have no problem with Bronny James. I have a problem with LeBron James forcing his son to leave college early, where he was not a good player in college. He averaged 5 points a game. He didn't even start. He wasn't even a good player in high school. I think he averaged 14 points a game in high school. And I know he's on, one of these big travel teams. Go look.
McDonald All American.
His dad's name's LeBron James.
McDonald All American.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of McDonald's All Americans, but yeah, his dad's name is LeBron. 14 points a game. I mean, half my friends average 14 points or more a game. I had friends average 30 points a game. Yeah, they
In the
didn't play.
pros? In, in,
No,
in a professional league?
no. Well, in a high school, uh, obviously these are top tier high schools. Where academies basically, many colleges, but he wasn't good in either one. He didn't. Let me say this: he didn't stand out in high school, college, and he will not stand out in the NBA. Doesn't deserve to be in the NBA at this point. It's not against Bronny James. It's just against his dad and his system. And people don't like nepotism, and here it is, right in your face. The one place where you can escape nepotism is the athletes. Now, in coaching and all that stuff in sports, and in the front offices and head coaching and assistant coaches, yeah, we see nepotism. But if you want to win, you're not going to pick somebody's son who's not good enough to be there. And so, anyway, I think him averaging 14 points, not in the G League, is nothing. It's a non-story. And I think he's still only doing home games because he's too good to travel with the team, which is disgusting, in my opinion. Look, just real quick, Dwayne Bacon. I bring this point up. Dwayne Bacon played for Florida State in college. Was a good Florida State player. He had a two-way contract up and down with the Hornets for a couple years. We were going to see him play at the Swarm, which is closer to us. And the one game I went to that he played in, he scored 45 points. The next week, when he actually got playing time with the Hornets, he scored five. The G League and the NBA, they're not even comparable.
I understand, but I mean, this kid's only 20 years old.
No, I'm not saying his story's not written. It's not
Right.
over. He should still be in college. His father did him a big disservice for his professional career. He'll be fine for us his life financially, no matter what. But for his professional career, it will be stunted because they skipped the line. And if you like skipping the line, that's fine. I would like to skip the line sometimes, but you're stunted. It's like somebody giving you a test with all the answers on it. You're not learning. And then he goes to the G League. He's better off staying in college or going to not a USC, but going to like a Duke or a Carolina or a Kansas and really learning the game of basketball and proving himself there, then having more confidence. The G League, what's going to happen. It's almost like a false flag. He's going to be excited. Oh, imagine 14 points a game. He's going to go back, and if he ever plays with the Lakers again this year, it's he's not going to be. It's not going to be good. It's not a good thing. I don't like LeBron.
Let me just throw this little tidbit in, and then we can end this freaking show, and then I can't wait for the LeBron Michael Jordan. We're gonna have to. That'll be at least a 90-minute show between you and I.
Yeah, we'll wait till after the NFL season, but yeah, for sure.
Bronny, if you remember, give the kid a break. Okay. Right before he was ready to play for USC, he had a heart condition, for crying out loud. So he sat out for like 2 or 3 months, and then he barely got into that lineup. He played what? I don't even know, maybe a half dozen games for USC, and didn't do much. No, I agree with you there. And was he ready for the NBA? No. But I mean, Michael had a lot. I know he didn't have his son come into the NBA, and LeBron
No,
did, but Michael's son sucked at basketball. Okay, this kid has a
Michael's
chance.
both
This
his
kid
sons
has a
averaged
chance.
both his sons averaged more points a game in college than Bronny James did.
Are they okay? Are they in the
Yeah.
G League averaging 14 and a half?
There was
No.
no G League. If
The
there's no
only
G
thing
League.
Michael Jordan's kid is doing is he's dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, right?
And that's a score in some people's eyes.
That's better than 14 and a half points a game, man.
Yeah, that is. All right, my man. Well, great job as always. And yeah, we'll have another show before Christmas. We'll have
Yeah.
one every week. So yeah. So we'll have one next week. We'll have the results of the college football playoffs round one. And then we'll be, just a few games left in the NFL. It's been exciting. It's getting even more exciting this time of year. And then college basketball getting into conference play. All right, until next time.